Facebook, what is going on today, you peeps? Got a good show planned. This should be a lot of fun today. Can't find it. Continue watching. There you go. Okay. Cool. Got about a minute left, and then we'll kick it into gear. Waiting for the amazing Laura. Hey!
Loud.
I'm always loud. The amazing Laura.
The amazing Laura.
Russ Weed, good morning, buddy. Huh?
I said the amazing Laura. Sounds
Amazing
weird.
Laura.
Sounds weird, man.
Does it?
Yeah. Sounds like a circus performer.
Huh?
It sounds like a circus performer.
It is a circus. It is, man. It is. Here we go.
Okay.
Hello friends, Bill Baker here, host of the Prairie Real Estate Show, found right here on 103.5 FM, The Sun, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Hey, when I'm not on the radio, I'm working with folks just like you to help them buy and sell homes. I'm proud to say that my team, the Baker Realty Group, has been helping people buy and sell homes in the greater Sun Prairie area for over 10
latest
years.
stats.
Information about buying and selling a home is
Actives
available
are in
on
there.
my website, thebakerrealtygroup.com.
And in a trend line, it's going to blow you
on
away.
Facebook by searching the Baker Realty Group or by calling.
Got a lot of information today.
575-6731. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with Bill Baker and Laura Stanfield. Brought to you by the Baker Realty Group.
Welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show with your host, Bill Baker.
I miss her. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sun Prairie Real Estate Show. I'm Bill Baker, your host, and just really glad to be here. It's a wonderful Wednesday. I'm wearing red in my Wisconsin colors today, because you're not even on camera. It's over there. It's the other one.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive about it.
I don't like that camera.
I know you don't like that camera, but I didn't. We'll blame Colin. We blame Colin for everything. Hey, I'm wearing Wisconsin red because we had an amazing win last night, and I'm really excited about that. Beating Purdue, co-champions of the Big Ten. I'll take that too. Good morning, Valerie. Russ Weed, good morning. Glad you're watching the show. Hey, we've got an interesting subject today, and let me remind you, when we started this show 7 years ago, 7 years ago, I know, I can't believe it. I was I've got all 7 years of recordings. I mean, it's amazing.
That's a lot.
We created this show really for you, and what I mean by that is that we wanted to give you information that you could use in the way of helping you buy, sell, or invest in real estate. It's really about education. It's not about trying to sell you anything or anything like that. We've just become the resource or reference for you and what you're trying to do to sell your biggest asset or buy your largest asset. So every week we come in with different subjects that we think that are going to help you and in the way of making those decisions. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're even better. But we have a lot of fun doing it. We love your ideas, we love your suggestions, and really appreciate it. Now, on today's show, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about, get you up to date on how February was and the numbers that happened there. We're going to talk about the 15 houses that are for sale today. And we're going to talk about trend lines. I'm going to show you what I did in a way of a trend line that is going to give us a lot of information. We're going to talk about rentals. We're going to talk about the high cost of rentals in Sun Prairie and how inflation and this whole housing market has actually caused increases in it. I've got some examples of places in town, what they cost, and then I factored in some stuff from Laura with mortgages and percentages and all that. And I think you'll be surprised. Then on the second half of the show, we're going to talk about things that go on in the sale process or buying process in real estate, and I'm using some information from Keller Williams. They just had their family reunion down in Orlando. I'm a former Keller Williams agent, cut my teeth in real estate off Gary Keller and several of my mentors that are from Keller Williams, and so I'm pulling information from that actual event that they just had, the slides that were presented, and I think you'll find them interesting or something to at least be aware of if you're in the way of buying and selling a house. So we got a hour-packed show. I hope it goes the way you would like it. If not, that's okay. Turn us off.
Just keep scrolling if you're on Facebook.
That's true. Hey, you're listening to 103.5 WLSP, The Sun, right here at the beautiful Sun Prairie Media Center in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Glad that you're joining us. We're underwritten by those wonderful folks at the Bank of Sun Prairie, the Baker Realty Group, and of course, Wintrust Mortgage. And so let's get a little mortgage update from the greatest, the amazing, the all-knowing and beautiful Laura Stanfield from Wintrust Mortgage.
Morning.
I never get tired of doing that stuff to you.
Evidently you don't.
It's
right?
love, girl.
You like
You know,
to
it's
make me
love.
blush.
Hey, before you start, if you have questions, comments, thoughts, don't be afraid to go to Facebook Live and give us a message there. You can call into the show if you like. 608-825-0930 is the phone number. Give us a shout. We'd love to talk to you. We love your input. Evie Wusso, glad to see you. Janice Bedner, you're always on here. Now, let me pass it back over. I'm giving you the football.
Interest rates.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I think I said good morning.
Hey,
didn't I?
you know we didn't get to say happy birthday to you last week.
You're going to sing to me?
Huh?
You're going to sing to me?
Happy birthday to you.
Wow. No.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I
I'll
love
keep my day
it.
job.
I love it. Your
Uh-oh.
birthday can continue like...
Colin, cut his mic.
Hey, I thought it was pretty good, man. Come on.
That was good.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
So what's going on in mortgages?
So yeah, mortgage rates are up and down a bit. The first couple of days of the week we saw rates fall back a bit, which was kind of nice because everybody's been, interest rates are so much higher. Still low, right? Historically speaking, big picture is still low, but rates had increased quite a lot in a short period of time. Shorter period of time than what we
10%?
normally see. 10%? Oh my, no, huh? No. We're still in the, we were still in the 4 range. And I'd say probably in most cases it's right around 4 right now. So it actually dipped back because of all that's been going on in Ukraine. Monday, Tuesday, and then today now in response to a jobs report. So there's more job creations than were expected. That's one of those numbers that can have a positive impact on the market, right? And therefore a negative impact on rates.
Okay.
So rates are up a little bit again today, but not bad, not crazy bad. We're still up from where we were. I should say we still have gains from last week.
Right.
So we haven't lost all that we gained
Sure.
Monday and Tuesday. That and then the State of the Union address is kind of playing into it. Powell's comments, so about whether or not the Fed is going to raise the rate a full 0.5%
In
or
March.
0.25%. Sounds more like it's 0.25%.
Yeah.
So
I can
that
see a
actually is a positive impact on the market
Sure.
again. So
Right.
on your 401ks and investments and things like that,
Yay.
that's a good thing. But
your
for
mortgages.
interest rates, yeah, but it's not bad. Again, we're still ahead of where we were last week. So far.
Well, the thing is that the federal government is still selling off mortgage-backed securities. They're selling right now.
Mm-hmm.
If they feel that inflation is not slowing down, I'm hoping this administration they can take their time and figure out the right moves. But if inflation messes up a little bit, then they can start buying again and to control that. But right now, demand is high. And so we just don't have any houses. So that interest rate, what'd that say?
I get these things on my phone. It says alert to lock because there's shifting going on in the
market's
market.
shifting already?
Yeah.
You
Well,
heard
this
it
was-
first right here. There's a mortgage alert on the Sun Prairie Real
Mortgage
Estate
alert,
Show.
Mortgage alert, yeah. That was from earlier.
Okay.
You know.
Well, that's but now you take the fun away from it. Mortgage alert. What's the current rate?
Well, it depends.
Oh, don't give me the depends. Give me the best.
Around 4.
4?
3875 or 4.
All right, 3875 or 4.
4.
So that's
Yeah.
that's good. But
Yeah, it's not bad. It's
Yeah.
not that much off.
so we talk about this, and we talk about the lack of homes all the time, and 2021 was the best year of home sales ever. One of the top ever. Like 6.2 million. I think it was 6.1 million homes. And what's interesting about that is because I know people are out there running around just like me, writing offers, doing stuff, trying to get a property. And of course, sometimes we're not winning that offer. Not with me in most cases, but it's happening. People are out there, 5, 10, 12 offers on a property, and it's crazy out there. But here's what I want you to know. And prices are going up. We know the prices are going up.
Mm-hmm.
The percentages are crazy. But what you need to know is 6.1 million homes were sold last year. Now let's talk about it the other way. That means 6.1 homes were available to sell, which is a greater number than past years. So it works out. I mean, it just happens. This thing keeps slipping on me. There we go. I get it here, and it goes.
See, that used to happen to me, and you'd make fun of me.
It
happens.
Well, that's my thing. I'm supposed to do that.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now that I know.
I am. So finding a home is possible out there. Finding your home that you want is possible. Selling your home right now is not a crazy thing. It's not a bad idea. I know your first thought is, where am I going to go? Well, there are options. There are strategies to that, and we should talk about it. Because right now, your values are something else. Talked to a guy on this weekend telling me about his Brooks Estate home, and he told me, he said, well, I'm looking to sell it for, what do you think it's worth? I said, 6 1/4. He said, wow, that was fast. I said 6 1/4. He said, well, I paid $450 for it like 3 years ago. I'm like, 6 1/4.
Wow.
He says, well, he was stammering around, and I said, and that might take us a day, maybe 2.
Even in that price range.
Even in that price range, yeah.
Okay.
Even in that price range. So it's interesting out there. We also had a conversation yesterday. I had a conversation with a guy yesterday, and I love to tell this example. I said, if I were your stockbroker, if I were Edward Jones stockbroker, and I called you and I said, hey, your Ford stock appears to be tapped out. I know you have $500,000 in there. We need to sell that and move on. You wouldn't think twice about it. You would put it into whatever, Tesla, and whatever, you would move it along. But because it's your house, I understand you don't want to move.
People don't live in their stocks.
It's the pain and reward thing.
Yes.
And
the unknown. If we don't have answers, and the answers are meaningful, what do a lot of people do? Nothing. Yeah, because you're stuck.
Right. They do nothing.
Find out.
Well, I'm happy. I'm really happy where we are. We've been here for 50 years, and so we're feeling pretty good about it. I said, yes, you need to update the whole house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I have a client right now. I have 3 homes I'm bringing on here in March around the 15th.
Woohoo! Bring it.
I know, right?
We need them.
And one over in Monona, one over in Fall River, one over in Madison, east side of Madison, over by where Terry was.
Oh.
Gonna be good. But one of my sellers is stressing because he wants the house to be perfect, and I said, stop. You don't need to be. You don't need to do that. And so I'm trying.
We've
doing
talked
my
about
best.
this before, but do you want to talk on that?
Go ahead.
I see stuff that people say, oh my gosh, in the market that we're in right now, I don't need to do anything to my house. You kind of have it on both ends, right?
Well, right.
So what do you tell
Well,
people about that? You still needs to show well,
Yes.
or people will pass it by.
Yes.
So.
Make sure there's makeup on that pig.
Ah, lipstick on the face.
Yeah, well, makeup, because lipstick's alone,
Lipstick is not
once
enough.
you kiss it, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you do. It needs to be approachable. It needs to be an eye catcher. If you come in and it's cluttered, your value just dropped.
It does.
And that's why I tell people all the time, start packing. If you've made
Yes.
the decision, let's get into it. But start packing.
You're
right?
leaving anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
Get it
just
in the garage.
mindset that it's a house.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to fill up the garage. It's a nice garage. They don't care about the garage. They just want to make sure 2 cars fit in there and then get the lawnmower and the trash cans in, and you're fine. And that's probably a very brash and direct comment, but that's the truth on it.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to be sure that it's, decluttered. That stresses people out anyway.
I know.
You want people to walk into your house and feel like it could be home.
Right.
Feel good.
Sure.
Smell good.
Smell good.
Be clean.
Smell good.
Yeah. Little things even. Like if you've got nicks in the wall, a hole in the wall, patch it and paint it, please. People make assumptions about that.
Tuesday and Thursday mornings, I work out with a men's group, over 40. Bob Call is on there, who's an appraiser. He said he had to do a house recently where he walked in and he thought he needed a hazmat because there was the cat urine was so bad.
Oh, no.
And when he left, he could smell it. And he said he just couldn't wash it off, and it was in his sinuses and the whole thing. And
Wow.
what's interesting is sellers a lot of times like, well, I can't smell that. You know,
You get used to it.
right? You do.
You need somebody else to come in and tell you what to do. And it might be your realtor or it might be a stager that works with the realtor. Either way, you need to keep your mind open because they are the experts on what people out there are looking for.
Exactly.
So, yeah, remove your ideas about your current home. Look at it as a house. You're going to be finding your next home, but this isn't it.
No.
So,
Right.
yeah, just remove stuff.
Make it look good. It's like, are you going to take a truck or car to the car dealer with mud and everything all over it? No, you're not.
Some people would, but that just doesn't work well.
Well, if you want full value, it doesn't. Today, you're getting full value for your car.
Today you are.
Trust me.
And houses for the most part, but
Right?
we know it happens. If houses are, I was just talking to somebody I've known a really long time, thinking about selling their house. And
Happy to help them.
Yeah, I know. They already had somebody.
Stop.
I know.
I didn't get that
But-
call. Did they miss the number? 6731, not 6713.
That must be. Yeah,
I know.
They might. Well, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, yeah, no. So, but I could hear it in his voice. Like we were told it's very personal. We have a lot of pictures, and we were told that we have to take pictures down and all this, And it's like, yeah, you do. You have to anyway. You're moving, so just do it. Just pack stuff up.
Internet's gone. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just showing Colin
Nice look
what
on
happened.
your face.
It was probably 45 seconds. Yeah, I know. We're back on for 45 seconds.
all
You're,
good.
you're exactly
Right,
right.
right.
So let's talk a little bit about what happened in February, just to give you an idea, show you a little bit of the activity that's out there. 13 homes were listed in, now I'm talking about the city of Sun Prairie. This is only single-family homes. And so I get arrows in my back from realtors all the time. There's more than that was listed, I thought. I said, no, you just put in 53590, and that'll pop up Bristol and a little bit of Windsor and town of Sun Prairie. So this is the exact number for city of Sun Prairie. 13 homes came onto the market, 18 were sold. That's 10% lower than February of last year. With an average sale price of, get this, you ready? Hold on tight, here it comes, $421,347.
That's the average.
That's an 11.9%, 12% increase over last February, which was good, and 101% of price. So what that means is, when I say 101.08% of price, that means that if it was asked, if it was 1% over the asking price, 100% plus 1% of the asking price. Now this is interesting. 41 days on market on average.
Really? So
Yeah.
one must have been on there a while?
Yeah.
Or a couple?
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
construction?
Could. Yeah.
Construction?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's construction that throws it off.
And that's why the numbers, I think, are higher too, because it seemed like most of what sold was new construction.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I mean, don't think that when you hear this number, like,
No.
oh my gosh, I can't afford anything. It's all about the data available,
Yeah.
and if there's higher end home selling, you know.
Absolutely. And I pulled this information yesterday, which would have shown 37 homes. If you went onto Google, Zillow, Realtor.com, those sites you should stay off of, and it's going to show 37 homes for sale. Well, that's not true. It's actually 11 homes based on yesterday's numbers, and which is basically 5% less than it was last year. Now, of the numbers that are new, 4 of them are new construction with a median price of $482,000, and of the properties that were sold, of the 18 that were sold, 6 were new construction with a median price of $413,087. Dollar. I know, right? So it's interesting. Don't get hung up on that 421. Now, year to date, we're at 392 on average, which is up 12% anyway over year to date, January, February. But we're doing fine. I mean, January came in at 374. Now we're at 421. What that says to you, folks, is that the buyers are there. They're just waiting for you to get up off your couch, turn off Oprah, and sell your house.
Oprah? Okay.
Oprah, I know. Oprah. Well, replays are right.
Netflix.
Right. Hey, I did this though. I wanted to tell you this, and we're going to lead into some other things here. 2012, 10 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Average sale price is $193,233.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
2012.
I know, right?
Man. We bought our house for just under 160, and that would be in 2003.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's a much quicker, much broader increase
Yeah.
in price range over the last, that 10 years versus the next 10 years.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
I know,
Yeah.
Joe. It's something else. Now, we always need to compare ourselves with somebody, so I decided to do Dane County. And Dane County for the month of February, the number of properties listed was up 10%. Number of sales was down 4. Their average price was $432,000, which is a 2% increase over January's numbers, and 101% of value, 36 days on market. They have, if you went to your friends at Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin and all those places, it says there are 649 properties. There are actually 265. Of the ones that are listed, of that 265, 81 of them are new construction with a median price, ready? Hold on tight. Here it comes. $539,900. And of the 265 sold, 76 of them were new construction with a price of $430,000. So Sun Prairie, we're doing pretty good.
How is it that 600 some show up, but actually only 2 something?
You always ask the greatest questions.
Well, I'm trying to think about what other people who are listening might be like, what?
You're just amazing.
How is it that far off?
She's just so good. Oh my God, she's just so good. So what happens is on the multiple listing, so these sites pull from our multiple listing service. And there's categories called active, active show, active no show, pending, sold, expired, I don't care. No.
We're out of categories.
So as long as it says active on it, it shows it's sitting there. Because what's happened is they have an accepted offer, so they may be going through their contingencies of home inspection and mortgage or radon testing, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that still happens. And so that's why it's still up there. And we pull the real information. You want the correct information?
So
you
when
call
you
me,
say
I'll give it to
2,
you.
Those are properties that are actually available for you to be able to make an offer on.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's the difference.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Positively.
Righto.
Righto. Hope the Queen's doing well. I know she's been sick.
She's doing better.
Yeah, I called her, wished her
And
well.
I know this because I know her.
I know.
We like text back and forth.
Well, you queens stay together.
I heard it on the Today Show.
You did?
That's a good answer, though. I like yours better.
I tell you.
Queens stay together. I like that.
Here's something you need to know about those 18 that were sold. 8 of them had competing offers on them. That's 44% of the properties that were sold have competing offers on them.
I would think it'd be 100%.
Well, and that's me too.
Wow.
I know, right?
Surprised.
Me too. I thought it'd be much higher.
Is it maybe because of the new construction? Maybe these people already were talking to
Could be.
somebody, and that's why
Yeah.
it wasn't a competing offer?
Don't know. Now you're going to create another rabbit hole for me, and I got to go down that
Does it
thing.
make you go,
Of the ones that were our new construction numbers, it's 38% of them were new construction of the ones that were sold, of the 18.
Okay.
And so, and I gave you the median price already on that stuff. So it's interesting.
I had heard that there's another, so we talked to Aaron last week about Serenity Estates, right?
Exactly.
Out by Token
Yeah.
Creek. And those are going to be higher end, more like what you're talking about,
Yep.
500-600-ish thousand.
Ish.
Ish. I like ish.
Probably more like 6.
A 6. Okay, so more luxury market, not affordable.
Well, yeah, the lot
necessarily.
started at 165,000.
And then I heard that there's another builder that's I don't know how many are going to be available, but in Windsor,
Oh, really?
a bunch of lots evidently that are coming up, and they're developing these lots, and I think it was going to be about in the same area though.
Okay.
Like 500-ish.
Ish.
So there's the ish again. Yeah.
I like the issue.
So there's more for the people that have a home now that might be considered more first-time buyer
Yes.
range,
Mm.
and they don't know where they're going to go next,
No.
but they want to move up.
Yes.
So these might be a good opportunity for them to not worry about putting their home on the market. Theirs is going to sell
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
And so then you might be able to move into a new construction
Yeah.
if you want to move into that price range.
That's true.
So there are answers, people.
Absolutely. It's just a strategy, and we can
Yeah.
word it. You know, what's interesting is that, and you and I have talked about this before many times, is that when I present an offer, prior to writing the offer, I've called the agent. And I've talked to her, and I'd say, Laura, what are they looking for? Other than the highest price, what are they looking for? What do they need? How can we help them in this process? You'd be surprised at the answers you get. They'll tell me the price. They'll tell me that, well, we need a 60-day closing, or
They'll tell you a price?
I've had agents tell me, well, if they get this price, they would be happy.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Just because I picked up the phone. I'm not
Right.
talking about emailing or texting. I'm talking about
Have
telephone.
a conversation with somebody.
Telephone.
Yes. It is amazing the things you can find out. And anyway, for buyers that are out there listening, I hope you're understanding, I guess, the importance of working with an agent who is willing to go a little bit beyond what most others do and make a phone call and make a connection with the listing agent. It could get you an accepted offer. That's huge.
Yeah, I agree.
You're just emailing offers over. Well, that doesn't make you stand out at
No,
all.
not at all.
And some sellers, I've understood, are saying, please do not send me any love letters.
Yeah.
That's going to turn me off.
Yeah.
So how are you
It's
standing out?
It's not the seller doing that.
It's the agent?
It's the agent.
Okay. That actually makes sense.
It is. I mean, how do you, well, if you didn't know about it, if you weren't in the business, in this industry, would you know you can't write a letter to them? Well, you can do anything you want. Just because they say no love letter doesn't mean you can't do it.
True. And as the listing agent, if the listing agent puts notes, let's say, in the listing information, do not send any letters.
Yeah.
But you as a buyer's agent are saying, go ahead and do it. You have nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They have to still present the offer with
Yes.
the love letter.
As long as you attach it to the offer. And what I mean by that is you make it part of the offer.
Mm-hmm.
So then they have to present that offer. All offers have to be presented. Unless the seller, in writing, in their listing agreement, stipulates that such and such offers are not to be presented.
Such and such offers like what?
So let's say you have a house, you're selling a house, it's $100,000, you're listing it for $100,000, and the seller says, I want no offers to be presented below $80,000.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Sure.
Or I want no offers to be presented that are not cash offers. But it's their it's their choice, though.
Yeah,
I mean, they can do that.
It's reasonable. In this world, there's a lot of cash offers.
But you don't know what that is because the listing agreement is between the listing broker and the seller. And so the buyer never sees that. So you just have to do what you say. Now, I've had people say, well, we're range pricing this between $100,000 and $150,000, and we write an offer for $80,000. Because that's the value of it. I mean, just because you can do a lot of things. There's a lot of strategies, and like you said, that's the advantage of working with an agent.
Can I just ask one question?
Two. I'll give you
cool,
two.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why would a listing agent not want to accept love letters? It just takes more time, or what's the reason?
Fair housing.
Oh.
National Association of Realtors, the Realtors Association, Wisconsin Realtors Association are concerned about fair housing issues.
Really?
And yeah.
So if you tell them too much
Violations.
about you, if you include pictures.
Well, you could, or maybe the way you word something, or your name.
Can you offer to buy the seller pizza every Friday night for the next 12 months?
You can. You can. So what I
send flowers with the offer when it's presented?
You can.
It's not bribery?
No, but you can.
Okay.
If you're a buyer and you're looking at a house and submitting an offer, yes, you can go to the door and knock on the door and talk to the sellers. As an agent, I can't.
Right. Okay.
The law says I cannot do that. I cannot have any interaction with the opposing side unless they initiate it.
Have you had anybody do that?
Yes.
And how has it worked out?
They bought the house.
Wow.
You know them.
It's really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Adam and over by you off Kohler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I do actually remember that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? You got to think outside the box.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to do that, there's all kinds of things you could try.
So if you work with me, you'll get the strategies that win.
Mm-hmm.
If not,
there you go.
You're still in your same house.
There you go.
There's also strategies in selling it too.
And all of it.
There is. So let me show you right now. So as of today, this is hot off the press. That's called a typewriter for all you newbies
sound
out
like
there.
A typewriter at all, but okay.
It's more like a
little better.
I know. I don't know what they call that. Anyway. So there are two houses under $350 right now. There's one sitting at $365 that's on MacArthur Street, and I'm going to tell you right now it's overpriced. They've got a $370. The assessment then is at $289, so it's not $90,000 more value. Looked at it, it's not. It's on Michigan Avenue, right? Oh,
not Chicago.
No, it's on Michigan Avenue. That's probably what I have. That's $375. MacArthur. There's one on MacArthur at $365. I'm not. Just have your agent run the numbers, folks. But there are two, one on Maple and one on Vandenberg Street, $279 and $189. And I can't believe the one in Vandenberg is still for sale. 5 days on the market, and Maple Street just came on the market. So there's some good ones that are out there. There's 3 houses in here in new construction. They're ghost listings. That's another thing you need to know about. A ghost listing is when a builder puts a model, maybe of an existing house, as an example, but it says not available or not constructed until contract. So there you have it. Hey, once in a while you hear me talk about trends. And so I ran a trend line. I gave it to Laura. She's going to look at it. I'm sure at one time she'll pick it up, and look at it.
I looked at it. Yeah.
That was the quickest look. You know how many hours I put into this thing? Come on,
No,
man.
it wasn't for me. It's for these guys.
I know. So a trend line is what is a measurement over a given period of time. It shows a certain type of growth. Now you can do a forecasted growth, or you can show a historical trend line. And what I did was I took a trend line with a 4% growth. 4% growth in real estate on an annual basis is a good number. You get to 5 or 6. 6 is okay, but you're starting to go, And the reason for that is there's a couple concerns. And what's the biggest one, Miss Laura?
I don't know.
Affordability.
Okay.
Because affordability goes out the window at certain point. And where is that? I can't tell you because it's based upon the time. But I will say this, in our 2022, we're getting close to shutting out first-time home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of interest rates going up and prices going up. And that's the reason.
Everything going up.
So I took a trend line, I think I'll put this on the Facebook page also, that shows you back in 2012, the purchase price, or the sold price for the year, the average price was $193,233. If I took a trend line of 4% growth across there, we should be at $286,027. My computer cut that off. Huh. Here's what you need to know. Since 2012, we have never been on that trend line. In 2013, we were 6% above. 2014, 12%. 15, 10.8. On the 2016, we were 15 above. And it just continues to grow. It goes to 20% in 2018, almost 21%. Falls back a little bit, and then it happens. We hit 20 in 2020. We were 22% above the trend line.
Wow.
And right now, if I looked at the numbers as of today, we're 35% above that. But here's what you need to know, is that it's actually higher than that. It's actually higher than that because all the economists out there are projecting our growth for the year to be over 10%, right?
Uh-huh.
So I took 10%, which is like 41% above our Sun Prairie trend line. We should be at $286,000 for a home, based on 4%.
Exponentially higher every year for the last 10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
And so that
It's a cool graph, actually. It's a cool.
Oh, thanks, son. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts us at the end of year $404,420. And if the interest rates keep going up, we just shut out first-time home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a concern.
This is why the Fed has to be very careful about what they're doing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is a good lead-in because I want to talk to you about this. We got time. Okay. So now, how does this all tie in? We're going to talk about the apartment list and national rent report that Chris Salavati produced, which is part of Rent.com and all that. And so I pulled this information together, and I want to show this to you because the housing market is directly affecting the rental market.
Yeah.
And people say, well, I'm just going to go rent.
Okay.
Okay.
You're going to pay a lot.
You're going to pay a lot.
Yeah.
So here's the two scenarios. One is that maybe you haven't thought about buying, so you're going to rent. You're moving to the area, you're going to rent. That's one scenario. The second scenario that I can think of is that you're looking for a house in Sun Prairie because you know we have the best schools. We've got an incredible community, amazing parks, bike trails, businesses. We've got an approachable government. It's a great place to live, but you can't find a home. Mm-hmm. So you decide to rent. And so you rent a 3-bedroom apartment for whatever. Mm-hmm. You rent a property. So you've just taken a rental property away from a rental, an individual that's renting. So those are the scenarios that, or you can't afford to, or you don't think you can afford to buy.
You don't think you can afford. Yeah, I would examine where your rent is, and what a house payment would look like.
Yeah, and you corrected me the other day on that, and I really appreciate it because I said that you can't afford it, and you said no, you don't think you can afford it. And it's good to talk to Laura or myself and find out what it would take for you to buy a house and how much house you can afford. You got to remember that the underwriters, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the investors, right?
Yeah. They
only allow what percentage of your income to be towards a house, towards a mortgage. Isn't it 23%?
Well, if you're talking about just the housing portion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ideally, you want to be 25 to 30%
Okay.
of your monthly gross income, but it depends on the program. You can go as high as 40, 50%.
On what program?
On government loan programs.
Such
as VA, FHA.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Those two. But even Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will allow you, as long as you don't exceed 50%. You might, but
Wow.
you need to have assets, you need to have good credit. There has to be other compensating factors, we call it.
Okay.
So your whole scenario is about risk, and your credit score plays into that, your down payment, equity, your debt ratio,
Uh-huh.
all that plays into the scenario. So
Again, you have to do your homework.
you do, you just have to find out
Okay.
what your situation is. If
Right.
it isn't now,
Right.
you have absolutely nothing to lose, because it
No.
doesn't cost you to talk to me or any lender about pre-approval. If you're paying for a pre-approval, there's something wrong. Like, you just don't pay for it. So find
Yeah.
out what's possible for you. You should be getting education along the way. So if you're not ready, if there's something about your situation that's blocking you from being able to buy a home or the home that you want, then at least you should walk away with why
Yeah.
and what you need to do to fix that.
Right.
So then you know your time frame.
Exactly. So here, I want to address this too. So people have said, we're just going to wait till next year. That is the most expensive comment that I've
It
heard
is.
in housing.
It really is.
So let me give
Yeah.
you, there's two parts to this. There's two parts to it. First of all, so the economists are saying a 10% increase in prices. So 10% of 400,000 is $40,000. You can't save $40,000. If you can, that would be great. But $40,000 is a lot of people's salaries in
That's
that.
a lot of money.
Plus the cost of the mortgage. So if the interest rates go up 0.5%, well, they're already at 4.
Mhm.
So if they go up, and I'll bet you they're going to be closer to 5 by the end of the year.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. We weren't supposed to get to where we are now
Till
until
end
the
of the
end
year,
of the
right.
year, and we're here.
Yeah. So that's
So-
what's going to cost you money. So when people say that, well, I'm just going to wait till next year, I'm going to save up some more money. You can't save it fast enough.
No,
You can't save it fast
the
enough.
cost of waiting
Right.
is huge right now.
Exactly.
With interest rates and property appreciation, your payment's going to go up.
Right.
And you don't necessarily, that's the thing that people don't really understand, and again, why you need numbers run for you. Have me or whoever you work with run. Okay, so let's say I can save, be realistic, another $10,000. What kind of a difference is that going to make for me in monthly payment?
Exactly.
It doesn't make near what you think
No.
it does, because it's amortized in most cases over 30 years.
Right.
So it's a lot smaller than you think.
They're dollars.
Know your numbers.
It's dollars per day.
Yes.
So here's what's going on. So the apartment list for the national report for apartment list and all that has come out. Chris Salvati, I'm going to say Salvati.
Sounds Italian.
I know. This is fresh. This is March's numbers. And what it's talking about is the rent growth is back on an upward trajectory with a national index of about 0.6 over the course of February. So it went up almost 1% just in February. Now, year over year, rent growth currently stands, you ready? Hang on tight. Put that seatbelt on, put your tray in an upright position, and assume the crash position, because here it comes. Year over year, rent growth currently stands at a staggering 17.6% increase.
That's much higher than, I saw 7%.
But most of
Oh,
that growth
wow.
took place, and this is national.
Okay.
These are national. But most of that growth took place last spring and summer. Now, over the past 4 months, rents have increased by a total of about 0.7%. And with that said, this month's growth was still faster than the pre-pandemic norm for this time of year. Now, on the supply side, the national vacancy index is continuing to slowly inch up. We estimate that the national vacancy rate will hit 4.5%. That means that of the apartments out there, that there's only 4.5% that are available. So you'll hear me reverse it and say occupancy, and at 96%, which is about the same thing. 96% in the industry is considered full. So that 4.5 is awesome. Continuing a 7-month streak of increases that after bottoming out 3.8%. So 3.8% vacancy. Holy cow. That means nothing's available. And it's still not available.
No.
So be aware. I mean, rent is something else right now. Now, if we talk about Madison, rents in Madison increased about 1.2% month over month compared to a 0.6% decrease nationally. But month over month growth in Madison ranks number 10 among the nation's 100 largest cities.
Madison?
Madison does.
Wow.
Year-over-year rent growth in Madison currently stands at 9.7% compared to 1.5% at this time last year. So, folks, it's happening out there. Now, I'm going to get to the point on this in a second. Median rents in Madison currently stand at $12.58 for a one-bedroom apartment and $15.27 for a two-bedroom apartment. Well, Bill being Bill and who he is, I pulled this up. One-bedroom apartments in Sun Prairie, you can get one for $9.50, either at like Autumnwood or Hunters Creek. Hickory Point starts at $1,000. Revere's at $12.59. Abbey and Revere, similar to Revere. Iron Gate's at $1,300. One bedroom.
Iron Gate, where's that?
That's over by Grand, over behind Pick and Save.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Two bedrooms start at $12.29, go all the way up to $17.59. Here's the thing: is what's missing in our world. And McHenry, the McHenry property, I like this too. This is a two-bedroom. McHenry's behind Beans and Cream on Main Street.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to be affordable housing.
Right.
Right?
Affordable or workforce?
Okay, workforce.
Okay.
Affordable. Okay. So
Okay.
we intertwine. I mean, we mess these things up, and even the politicians don't even know what they are.
I know.
$15.25 for a two-bedroom. Tell me that's affordable
What?
for workforce housing, right?
Somebody's missing something.
I know. I know.
Oh my goodness.
So hold that number 1525 in your head. The Abbey is at 16 to 1700. Three bedrooms, and the Catalyst is the only one that has McHenry, but they're saying they have available. They won't give me the price on it, which I thought was interesting. $2,200 to $2,800. The Catalyst is at $2,275.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. Now, we know from interviews that we've done in here with property managers that we know that they're doing 20% increases on vacancies. As one empties, they'll jack up the price 20%. And why? Because they can get it. And if you got a three-bedroom, it's priceless. And that's the property that's missing in Sun Prairie. So in their fancy housing study they have out there, never will you ever hear about apartments and the volume of three-bedroom houses that are need to be available. So interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So in most cases, it's still cheaper to purchase for some of these folks when housing inventory is down to single digits and they can't find a house to purchase. They turn to rentals, as I was saying.
Yeah.
And so occupancy is the highest at 96%. Oh my gosh. So three-bedroom home. Here's Laura Stanfield stuff. Three-bedroom home, $350,000, which we can find at 4% with 5% down. 5% down is a $1,500 payment. $1,587 P&I.
I was gonna say, are you factoring in taxes and?
Insurance is $75 a month. Property taxes are $567. That gives a total of $2,334. Did I say three-bedroom homes are $2,275? So you can pay somebody else, or you can
Pay your own mortgage or pay somebody else's.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to lie and tell you that it's an easy situation out there. It's not.
No.
Not for buyers, not for sellers or anybody, but you just have to make a decision about, do you want to buy, and are you ready to go? And you can walk, you don't have to accept the terms, you just have to know you're going to keep looking.
Right.
You don't have to offer, don't listen to the stuff about, oh my gosh, it's unaffordable, you're going to have to pay $75,000 or $100,000 over asking price. That's not necessarily always true. And anyway, you don't have to do that. You wait.
Right, exactly.
Until it makes sense for you. But do not take yourself out of the market, please.
Yeah.
I have so many people that did that and they're regretting it because rates have gone up, and what you've been talking about for most of the show, appreciation just keeps going up.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a lot more if you wait.
Yeah, well, today's Ben Latimer's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ben.
To Benner. We're going to be celebrating tonight
Nice.
at Liberty Station. But Benner and Natalie bought in January at 3.2, I want to say, or 3.1, 3.2.
Mm-hmm.
Now today's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
and that's a first-time home buyer.
That's a pretty quick jump
Yeah.
in a short period of time.
So we talked about home prices and being above the trend line. Well, nationally, on an annual median, I mean, we've only, last time we were above the trend line was back 02 through 07, and now in 2021 and 2022, we've again passed that trend line. Sun Prairie is much higher on the trend line than national trends, which is interesting. But here's what I want to talk about: affordability in perspective. Affordability in perspective. All right. So in 2020, a car cost $46,000. In 1989, it cost $15,000. If you adjust that for the $15,000 for inflation, it's $35,000, which is a change of 30%. Gas prices, 2021, we were at $3.51. I don't know where they got that. Ours are $3.15. In '89, they were 97 cents.
Really?
I remember 72 cents.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Under a buck.
So if you adjust it for inflation, $2.25, up 56%. Wages in 2021, let's say $25 an hour. '89 was $9. That can't be right. That's not right.
You think it was lower?
No, those are correct numbers. I don't know the perspective on. There's a 13% increase in wages, if you think about it.
From 89
Yes.
to 2021.
Correct. Now here's the thing with mortgages. So in prices, 2021, $346,900. In '89, it was $94,000. Adjust for inflation, that 94 would be $218,000. That means a 58% increase. Now here's the good one. So in 2021, the mortgage on that $346,900 house would be $1,455. 1989, it would have been $8,825. If you adjusted that $346,000 home from $94,000 in '89 to today, it would be $1,900 a month in monthly payments. So there's a 24% reduction in what your mortgage would be compared to 1989. You don't get
Those are interesting numbers.
I know. I thought it was fun too. So why are people, primary reason for purchasing a home? The biggest thing is their desire to own a home. It's up 1%. 28% of people said their biggest thing is they want to own a home. Or the second one is they want a bigger home. And the third one is they want to be closer to their family and friends. Top three. I like that. Weeks. So you're a buyer now. How long does it take you? What's your search parameter? How many weeks does it take you to find a home? In 2018, it was 10 weeks before you made a decision on a home. In 2021, it was 8 weeks, which blows me away. I thought it would be 2 days.
Now, is that because you're competing, right? And
Yes.
not getting offers accepted
Right.
most often than not.
Well,
So that's why it takes longer.
Right. So tenure. How long tenure in your previous house? 1 year or less, 8%. 8% of people have been in their house a year before they sell. 2 to 3 years, 16%. 4 to 5 years, 14%. 6 to 7 years, 10%. 8 to 10 years, 9%. The median on it is 8 years. 8 years.
Yeah.
So most people have been in it 8 years. First step in buying a home. What's the first step, you think, that people took in the buying process?
Well, I would hope pre-approval.
It should be pre-approval, yes. And why is that so important?
Well, you don't know your price range, you don't know your area, you don't know your comfort level, you don't even know if you can buy.
That's exactly
unless you've
right.
done it.
Does it cost anything?
Zero.
Who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
Or Laura Stanfield.
Right.
Same thing, Ghostbusters, Laura. Do you know that they...
I'm a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Yes. The myths about why you can't buy or shouldn't buy.
That's right.
I'll dispel your ghosts. There we go.
So the first thing first step in the buying process was they looked online for properties for sale.
Oh, of course.
41% said they went online first. 19% used a real estate agent, and there's where you should. That's the advantage. You should be because
19%.
only 19%.
Well, I'm sorry. If you're a buyer, why is that percentage not higher?
Well, because they're using the internet and they're using Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin and getting all the.
19% had a realtor set up a search as opposed
Yes.
to using
Yes.
Realtor.com. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
And then the 10% looked online for information about the buying process.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So information sources buyers used, 87% used real estate agents.
That's good news.
Well, it is, especially in
Yay.
this digital world where everybody thinks you can do everything online.
No.
It's not true. I mean, trust me, I'm having a problem with Google right now, and I can't talk to a frickin' person. I have to go through an email, and they have to email me back. I'm sick. I'll be 95 by the time they get a hold of me. Fix my frickin' thing up. So real estate agents, they use a mobile or tablet to search, which 74% of them do that. 41% go to open houses. 40% look at online videos.
Mm-hmm.
So people,
That's
if you're
all?
selling, I know.
Huh.
I know. Now that number is down in 2020, by the way, or 2021. Yard signs, 35% look for yard signs. 19% you look for home builders. And it just keeps going down and down and down. Newspaper is not on here.
Newspaper. Yeah.
Bye-bye now.
You read the paper,
Have a nice
but
day.
most people don't.
Buyer representation agreements. Buyer representation agreement is a crucial protocol to maintain transparency and to align expectations between buyers and agents. What that means is a buyer agency agreement. That's a contract between you and the buyer agent that you're working for. And you do that because you need to secure the loyalty and everything that goes along with that. It's like hiring an attorney. They can't represent you until you sign a piece of paper. They can give you some advice, but they can't represent you and give you the real information. And yes, a written arrangement, only 40% of buyers out there had buyer agency agreement.
That's probably something that we haven't talked about. We have talked about it, but it's been a while.
Right.
So there's more to it than that.
Yeah, it is.
In Wisconsin, for sure. We're not the only, though, right?
Yeah.
The seller is the one who pays the commission. Buyers, agents, and
In most
listing
cases.
agents, usually. So if you don't have a buyer agency agreement signed with your buyer's agent is representing the seller, not you. So you are not going to be able to get the data on the price on the things that you probably need to know.
Correct.
As the buyer, because the buyer's agent's responsibility is to the seller, not you. So there's reasons for that. You definitely want to find somebody that you trust and sign a buyer agency agreement with them so you can get the information you need as a buyer.
So let me summarize that real quick. Every agent out there basically works for the seller through relationships. We call it agency, unless a contract is in place with the buyer. Now there could be pre-agency, they call that, but at any time, if you have an agent you haven't signed a contract with, and you say to them, well, what price do you think we should pay for this? They can't give you the answer. They've just broken all of their rules and their oath and everything, and they violated it. Agency is what it's called. They violated it towards the seller. So it's a very precarious thing. If you've got an agent you're working with, I don't care if they're a friend, brother, cousins, uncles, aunts, they can't do that.
Get it in writing.
Is the washer and dryer included? They can't answer that. That's negotiating. And you can't. Now they can say, well, I understand from the piece of paper that they're saying it is. But that's all they can say.
But anything that comes to negotiation, if there isn't a buyer agency agreement in place, signed contract in place, you cannot do that.
Right.
Because you're representing the seller.
Exactly.
Okay, and contract-wise, I know we've only got a couple minutes here, but let's say that the relationship isn't working out. So somebody signs a buyer agency agreement with you for 6 months, and it's not working out, and they want to work with someone else. Can they get out?
It's a legal question. I can't answer it.
Ah.
It is a legally binding agreement.
So what would you say to somebody then that said, I'm not comfortable signing this. I don't want to be locked in for 6 months.
Then reduce the amount of time and really rethink.
It's negotiable.
Right, it's negotiable. But if you're saying that about somebody you're working with, then maybe it's not the right person.
True. Yeah.
You know,
true.
so here's an interesting one. How buyers found their real estate agent. 47% were referred by a friend, neighbor, or relative. 13% used an agent that previously helped them buy or sell a home. 13%. Hold that in your little noggin for a second. The method of a home purchase. In 2018, 87%, basically 90%, used an agent. Only 13% used an agent they had previously worked with.
Yeah, that's a problem. Maybe
well, it's
not a
communications.
problem. Yeah, absolutely.
It's communications. So.
It's not staying in touch, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
And by the way, the number for sale by owners had dropped a full point again to 5%. Normally it's been running 6%, but now it's at 5%. So for sale by owners, they're getting wise. They understand that you need to work with an agent.
Even in this market.
Even in
though
this
you
market.
know your house is
Yep.
going to sell, you want representation.
Yep. Now, what you wanted from an agent in the way of buying a house was help finding the right home to purchase. That's 52% of the process. Negotiating the sale terms, 13%. Help negotiating, 11%. Help with paperwork, 8%. And then doing comparables and doing a lot of different homework, which I thought was interesting. The biggest factor you're looking for in a buyer agent, which is, I love this one, honest and trustworthy. That's 20% of what you're looking for. Experience is number 2. At 19, reputation is next one. And friend or family member, 13%. I don't trust my family.
Never mix
I know,
money
right?
and friendships or family.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So for a seller, most of the time, it's the reputation and all that. And we're out of time. By the way, here's go. Home is a financial instrument. 86% said real estate's a good financial instrument. And the other said, is real estate a better investment in stocks? 50% said yes. And it's true.
It's obviously appreciating a lot, and I'm not sure your investments are appreciating as quickly as real estate.
I know.
If the market is up and down as it's been.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Hey, Sun Prairie, that was a quick show. That was a lot of information. And if you've got questions, comments, concerns, get a hold of Laura. You can find us anywhere you want in Sun Prairie. You look up our names on the internet, and we are there. So give us a shout, and we will answer any questions that you may have out there, and we'd sure like to help. So, hey, I'll see you on Monday at 7 o'clock for Good Morning Sun Prairie. Bye, Sun Prairie. Have a great Wednesday.
That did go by fast.
Yeah, let's go. We're still on Facebook, though. As I said to everybody, and you're still on Facebook. Isn't that trend line cool?
It is cool. Cool and, I don't know, shocking too.
I know, right?
That's a lot of appreciation. And it kind of makes me worry. Do I think we're in a bubble? No, I don't. But
no, we're not in a bubble.
I worry about people who can't afford,
We might start blowing it up, a bubble, but we're not in a bubble because inventory is so low, demand is still high.
Yeah.
Now, if inventory was high and demand was high, then we'd be in a bubble, but pricing would be down on it also. But it's yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, bye Facebook.
Bye.
Bye, my peeps. See ya. Thanks for joining us today.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the show.
Happy
That's a lot of information.